Morning. Welcome to Heart's Discernment. Just waiting on the other channel. I have got some shady Wi-Fi today. Let me tell you. Um, I am out of service. I always run out of service within the first 10 to 15 days. And no surprise, I'm out of internet service again for the next 15 days. So I guess it'll just be shady. That's the way it is. I can't help it. But, we pay $110 a month for the gigabytes we have. I'm not paying any more than that. That's the price you pay for living out in the country, right? Okay, so today we're talking about friends. Okay, let me just say, if you did not watch Messenger's Chapel and those on YouTube, I know you may not know about this. There is a Facebook group called Messenger's Chapel. If you did not watch yesterday's service, I suggest highly that you get on there and watch yesterday's service. It goes right along with my theme for friends today. I was doing friends today because I figured it's Labor Day, you're hanging out with friends, you're, having cookouts. It's the last day of the summer fun, and which really it was over last week because that's when the kids go back to school, right? But it is a 4-day weekend for most, 3-day weekend for, I'm sorry, 3-day weekend for most, 4-day weekend for some. And what better time to hang out with friends and family and have cookouts and stuff, right? So I was thinking about that. And then yesterday's service blew my mind. And I know my mom says she's watched it 3 times and just loved it. I know Dana's watched it because of the comments on there. So if you have not watched that, I highly recommend you go watch that because it's pretty amazing and will make my morning probably sound lame in comparison. But we all learn at different speeds and rates, so I'm going to do it anyway. So this morning we were talking about friends and how a lot of times if you have a friend that's starting something new, I'm sure you've all been in the situation where somebody says, "Oh, why are you going to do that?" Especially when you become a Christian, you're like, "What are you going to do that? You going to go a holy roller on me now?" That sort of thing. But it's not for us to defend what we're doing. It is for us to love people where they are at. Okay. We do what we want to do because that's where our heart is at. We need to continue doing where our heart is at. And don't let somebody harden your heart. Don't let somebody take the joy away from you for what it is that you want to do. And even if you fail, I think we talked about this not long ago. Failure is success. Failure is success because you tried. You don't have any success if you just give up on your dream or your choice or whatever it is. You have to be confident. You have to, once you do something, we talked about this last week. Once you do something, it builds confidence and you have to have the courage to do it. Well, if you fail at something, it's not a failure for doing it. It just means you didn't do it right and you got to try over again. And friends will support you in this. Friends will lift you through this. Some friends may get a little, they get jealous. They get, well, I was going to do that, but I hear that one a lot. Well, I was going to do that, but I don't need the excuses of why you didn't do it. I do need to grab your hand and say, well, why don't you try it again? Come with me. Right? Okay, off on a little tangent. Sorry. So, I'm going to read the definition of adversary first. Then I'm going to read the scripture. An adversary means an opponent in a contest, conflict, or dispute. Okay? An adversary is an opponent in a contest, conflict, or a dispute. And that's important because the scripture we're going to read today is Proverbs 17:17. Proverbs 17:17. It says, "A friend loves at all times, and a brother is born for adversary." Seems like we have a lot of brothers and sisters these days, doesn't it? A friend loves at all times. That's how you know who the real friends are. They love you at all times. They are going to lift you and encourage you. And sometimes they might not lift you or encourage you. Sometimes they might be criticizing constructively. That is still being a friend. A brother is born an adversary. They are born as an opponent in a contest, conflict, or dispute. That isn't always a bad thing. Being an opponent in a contest or something, that can build character. I mean, if you both started, say you had magazine sales in, 6th grade or whatever grade they do that, and your friend and you're like brothers or like sisters or whatever, and you compete. Okay, that's a good thing. It's a friendly competition to see who could do better. That's being brotherly. Adversary is an accuser. Okay, I did not read that in all the different definitions I've looked at, but that's good to know. I'm glad you posted that because I did not see that in anything I read. An adversary, well, that kind of changes things all up if it's an accuser. Okay. Anyway, in Proverbs 17, I'm going to read a little bit more. I'm going to read, start at 16, I think through 18. Why is there the hand of a fool that purchased the price of wisdom, since he has no heart for it? A friend loves at all times, and a brother is born an adversary. A man devoid of understanding shakes hand in a pledge and becomes shirtly for his friend. I guess my point today is we can be an well, my definition, we can be an adversary. We can be an opponent, but it needs to be in a loving, uplifting way. We can be brothers and sisters. We can be loving and kind and lifting. But we also have to make sure that we are being friendly about it. We need to be a friend and we need to be brothers and sisters. I know I've had a lot of family with my didn't I read adversity? A brother is born adversity. Did I not read that right? Okay, let me reread that in case I read it wrong. A friend loves at all times, and a brother is born for adversity. And adversity is what I had as an opponent in a contest. I'm a little confused right now. I may have read that wrong, so I apologize. Oh, adversary is an accuser. Okay, so I was right. Adversity in Proverbs. I must have read it wrong. I must have said advisory instead of adversity. My apologies, guys. I maybe should have. I'm off today. I'm off my game. Things are just a little crazy right now, so I'm a little off, and I apologize. I must have read it wrong. So a friend loves at all times, and a brother is born for adversity. There you have it. I am so sorry about today. I have no excuse other than I am just way off my game this morning. Um, However, I did find my water bottle that I lost last Friday. It was sitting here on my desk. I'm not getting any of these comments. Oh, mom, you must have swiped. Swipe your phone to the left, I believe it is. Maybe it's to the right, but I think if you touch the screen and swipe to the left, all the comments will pop up. I may have heard it wrong, but I thought, it's my off day, Becky. It was probably me. Anyway, we need to learn to love people and lift them. We can lift each other up. We can be a brother and sister, not born that way. But when you start loving somebody and encouraging them and lifting them and loving them and supporting them, we become family. You become family with these people. It's by choice, not by blood. And I've had problems with my brothers, well, a brother. I've had situations where it almost feels like you're not family, but we still love each other. And a lot of times it does feel like a competition within family. But that's not necessarily a bad thing either. Sometimes it's to make someone better and lift them up. Now, when you're doing that petty thing, like my older brother and I used to I say, Grandma loves me more. No, Grandma loves me more. Now we all know the truth, okay? But that was a friendly competition. And it made Grandma feel good. And Grandma would say, I love you all the same. That's a friendly competition. It's a friendly family love. But when you start taking over and no, I'm going to do that and I'm going to beat them. Guys, that's where we got to stop. We have to love people where they're at and who they are and encourage them. You can give people constructive criticism and tell them, you know, let's talk about this. Tell me why you're doing it this way. Understand where the person is coming from before you give them criticism. Because if you just jump in and say, why are you doing it like that? You should be doing it like this, blah, 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 blah. And then they totally take your thought and jumble it up. And then you start questioning yourself, right? So if you come to these people and you say, tell me why you're doing it that way. I'm very interested in that because my way of thinking would have done it completely different. And so I'm really curious of why you're doing it that way. Have them tell you and then ask them questions. Well, what's going to happen if this happens? What's going to happen if you do this? Find out what their path is. My husband and I do this all the time. I will say, I'm going to do this. Well, he says, how are you going to do that? Well, I'm going to do this, this, and this. Well, you can't do that because of this, this, and this. Okay. Yeah, I can because I'm going to do this. Okay. So when you have a project, you have a vision and you know exactly how you're going to do it. Now, 9 times out of 10, my way is going to work. Of course, I'm taking the long way around to get there. Where if I listen to him, because he has knowledge in that area, he can say, why would you do all this when all you have to do is this and it's already done? Excuse me. So at first it would make me angry because I would say, because this is my project and this was my vision, but they both end up the same way. It's the same with him mowing lawn. He's got to use the little tractor for this, the push mower for this, and the big tractor for this. And it's got to be this. And you can't just go in circles until you end up in the center. You have to go back and forth and back and forth. And it drives me bananas because it doesn't matter as long as the mowing gets done, right? But it's the vision of people are different and we need to love them and support them where they're at. And again, I'm going to say, if you did not watch Messenger Chapel yesterday, you need to watch it. Okay? I think it's very important that everybody sees how to love people where they're at. And I know that I'm not doing it justice, but just consider this an intro to that. If you have not watched it, you really need to watch it. Okay? Um, let me go back and read some of the comments. No. Oh, Becky, don't be sorry. It's fine. That one just popped up. I'm gonna okay. I will listen. Sorry. Becky, you're totally fine. Brother is born in time of need. Real friends tell you the truth out of love. Yep. Says my mom always said to me, it's not what you say, it's how you say it. Same or different reasons. Yes, from a place of love. If you can't say it from love, don't say it. Every day. And Darren's service was so good. It just kind of like, what else can you say? I mean, there's really nothing else that you can say. So maybe that's what I should have done today. I should have gone live and just played yesterday's video from the service. Anyway, I hope you all have a fantastic Labor Day. I have to run to the hardware store now and then the grocery store to pick up a couple things and respond to some text I received. And that's about it. So I hope you all have the best day ever. Enjoy your day off. For those of you who work, blew your mind. Yes, the service blows your mind. All right. I love you all so much. Dana will be with you tomorrow. And I hope you all show up to give her tons of love. She's doing such an amazing job. I'm so proud of her. And I will be back on Wednesday. So I will see you all then. Have a great day.